Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, yeah, this is me. It's Alex, and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight from New York, New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, that there is, as you can see under his picture, Chuck Farnham.
Ooh,
Chuck Farnham used to be part of our morning
folks.
show in San Francisco.
We ran that last night, didn't we? Oh yeah, we ran that last night. That wasn't what I wanted to run today. You see, I'm just all out of it now. This is what happens when you have a torn meniscus or whatever, you know. It makes life miserable. Makes life miserable. No, this is what we wanted to say and show and do. And, well, why not? We'll do it, okay?
That lovely lady you see there is the lovely and attractive.
Me?
Is there anybody there with you? I was referring to them. Lori Thompson, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! It's Lori
Yay,
Thompson.
yay! Stucco coming off the ceiling, as Bubs would say.
So, yeah. As Bubs, we always have, as Bubs would say, because we have so many things we can quote Bubs as saying.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, I thought of something that you did. We didn't do characters, or any of that corny, typical morning show stuff.
Yeah.
But we would, once in a while, we'd have these quick personas. And I remember something you did. I think this was like you, a postal guy or something.
Yeah.
Morning, Mr. Bennett.
That was my parody of every morning show that has characters.
Wacky characters, right?
And I said, oh, here comes, I know, Irving the postman. Good morning, Mr. Bennett. That was his catchphrase.
And then his outline.
That was
his outline. Is out with okie dokie.
Yeah, right, I remember that now. So, okie dokie.
Yeah, just all that overplayed.
Yeah.
And I've worked with someone who did those characters once, and some people love them. I am not one of them.
Well, let me say this, that I hate morning shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate everything that they do with them. And so when I did our show, I tried to do everything that wasn't those morning shows. And one of them were a cast of characters, because I can do voices,
Right.
Yeah, hi, how are you, Mr. Bennett?
I just remember that when I'm doing my hair the other day, and I thought of okie dokie.
At one point, I was trying to get into animated films as a voice, but in those days there were only like 5 guys doing them, and you couldn't break the group.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to do that, so I did lots of characters, but I wasn't about ready to do them on our show.
Right. It just wasn't a fit. Yeah.
So my parody of it was that, here comes Bob the postman or whatever.
Right.
Hi, Mr. Bennett. We have the mail? Yes. Well, goodbye. Okie dokie. Yeah.
And then you make a big thing. Bob the postman, ladies and gentlemen, because they always do that. And, on the typical morning shows,
God, the things people remember about that show that I forgot completely.
Oh, well, because it was new and different every day. I mean, we may have had some topics that we revisited sometimes or more often than others, but it was new every day.
But here was another thing I did when I first went to San Francisco that I stopped doing because it was so hack, and that was the question of the day. And then people would call up and answer it.
That's a borderline.
And I think I did it in the beginning to get people to call. After a while, they just were able to call, right?
Yeah, because I still remember some of the regulars that used to call, and there were just a bunch of them. Carby, who had emphysema and smoked while she was on oxygen. I just remember a bunch of.
Yeah, she died. She died.
Well, we just thought she was going to blow herself up. She mainly called on the phone. It was like, and she'd volunteer. I said, I'll pay you cab down here if you come down, and so we can just visualize you. And so she came down, and we saw that she was smoking like a chimney and had oxygen. We thought she's going to blow this place up. So from then, it was a phone relationship after that.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. But we did kind of an anti-morning show is what we did.
Really, it was kind of like what the Daily Show approach before there was a Daily Show. That was
well, I don't know if it was that. I think the Daily Show was probably an anti-news show.
Yes,
we were an anti-morning show.
Right. Yes,
You know.
that's true.
And quite frankly, I always hated the radio business. I mean, I hated the people in it, for the most part. I hated the hacks that did morning shows.
The ones that immediately went into this voice. When you'd meet them, they'd shake your and have the heavy voice.
Right.
But yeah, I just what I knew about you before I actually worked with you, that you were an iconoclast, and the things that you left me with that were very important that I retain to this day is never talk down to the audience, ever, and don't condescend, and don't discount their intelligence.
Well, I always thought that they were far more intelligent than I'm out of sync again. How does this happen?
Are you?
Yeah. Who cares? If I'm out of sync, just think this is a foreign film. Okay, it's been.
Yeah. Right. Well, we just got a new cable box. It's a remote one with a wireless one.
Yeah.
And we cannot get the sync. We can't get it to sync up. So we called Cox Cable and asked, "What's the deal?" And she said that's just a nuance of the new boxes, and it has to do with available broadband at the time. And so sometimes it's fine, and then other times, Ken Jennings is like 2 questions back on Jeopardy. It's just bizarro.
Leave it to cable companies. You know what we got? We pulled the cut the cord.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and we're using Hulu.
Really?
Yeah, and it's really good.
Yeah, and now is Hulu a streaming service? I see sometimes that the movies are available.
But Hulu is a streaming service, but you can also buy this subset, which is called Hulu Plus, which gives you 75 channels. Gives you all the local news channels, gives you all the news channels, gives you 75 channels. It's still more channels than you'll ever use. And we pay about $92 a month for that. So we ripped out, had them take the cable boxes back. We had like 5 or 6 of them in this house. Do you pay for every cable box?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you pay for every cable box, and every cable box a month consumes $8 worth of electricity.
You're kidding.
Yeah. So I had 5 of them in this house. So that was eating up a lot of my money every month. And now I'm down to just paying for that and the high-speed internet, which I would have had anyway.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that between the two of them, it cost me about $180. Well, that's compared to the $250 bill I was getting before.
Yeah, but just seem to go up and up. They never go down.
By the way, in that I get Disney Plus for free, I get ESPN Plus for free, and I get Hulu as part of the package. Okay.
Rock on.
So really, I would have been paying for those if I had the cable.
Right.
All right.
And
So it really comes out a lot cheaper all the way around.
That I'm going to tell my financial advisor, husband, that about that.
Oh, he's your financial advisor? Is that the?
He does everything. He's my trip planner.
Are you? Oh, by the way, I want to talk to you about trip planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
just got back.
What we've decided we're going to do, because I saw I can do it, for about $5,000 a week.
Yeah.
I can rent a villa.
Rock on,
in Italy or France, and I look at it and it says 10 people. So, well, I don't want to be in a villa all by ourselves. So, we could invite you, because you guys love traveling and you know how to book the travel to it, and we'll get ourselves a villa and invite you to it.
Well, that would be so fun, and that would make me feel like I was in People magazine.
And I got a couple other people I want to invite too. Marjorie has a friend she wants to invite, and we can fill it up with a lot of really fun people. For
Yeah. Oh, we'd be like the Stones, the Rolling Stones, when they were recording. What was it? Nelda Cahote.
Well,
Yeah, that would be some girl.
We're about to come into a decent amount of money. When, I don't know, but we're about to come into it. And so I said to Marjorie, I said, we'll go for a week. She says, I thought it was a month. I said, no, it's a week. She says, well, then why don't we do a month? Well, we could spend the $20,000 and do it for a month, because we've got FU money,
Yeah.
So, but I think a week's enough. After a week I get a little squirrely.
Yeah.
I want to move on.
I'm with you there. I can go about 10 days, and then when you're on like a cruise or something, or a hotel room, unless it's a huge hotel room. Here we can like stay out of each other's way if we get on each other's nerves. And,
same thing here in this apartment. Believe it or not, if we don't want to see each other for a week, we don't have to.
Yeah, and that is something to consider, because I didn't realize until I was well into adulthood that I'm claustrophobic, kind of like elevators.
I am claustrophobic. Elevators don't bother me.
They don't bother.
I don't know why. That's not the kind. Here's what claustrophobia bothers me. Okay, ready?
Ready.
I will not do what do you call it? A scan. One of those, MRIs. Can't do it.
Really?
Oh.
Now those don't bother me, usually because I'm thinking about like the broken collarbone and ribs that got me in there in the first place.
Yeah, well, they can use X-rays, they can use CT scans. I can do CT scans. I cannot do MRI. However, if they have an open MRI, I might be able to do that.
Yeah.
But I can't. I don't care how many drugs you give me or whatever. I'll be in there and start screaming.
Wow, because it's interesting as you enter adulthood, you knew these things were going on in childhood, but you didn't know why, and you didn't necessarily have any control over what you were doing or where you were going. We're going to Grandma's house. Good, she has high ceilings, but I love high ceilings.
Well, we have high ceilings in this apartment.
You have an awesome.
They're like 12 feet high. Yeah.
Yeah, you have one of those cool apartments that people scan, like the New York online apartments, for years to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's I was raised in a home with high ceilings, and that's where I'm comfortable, so I don't fight it.
By the way, excuse me if I wince every now and then.
What's going on?
What happened to me is I'm walking down the street the other day with Marjorie, and guess what the old man did?
Did you fall?
Yeah. And I really screwed up my knee.
Oh, man. Did it take the brunt of your fall?
It took some of it, yeah. I think when I went down, it twisted.
Oh, that's
It's a little bit. It's better today than it was yesterday, but now it's getting worse again. But it's better than it was yesterday.
Yeah, I would check into that, because see, when my sodium levels were all freaked out, I was fainting like once a week, and I fell. I wasn't. My sodium was fine in Venice, Hvar, Croatia, which is a beautiful little town, and I was just tripping along doing my thing.
By the way, for you folks listening, she's bragging about her vacation too at the same time.
Oh yeah, see, notice how I subtly put that in there. Yeah.
So I was in Hvar in Croatia.
Yes, I was Hvaring around.
By the way, did you go to any of those Game of Thrones sites?
They have Game of Thrones stores. They have Game of Thrones tours. Yeah. Now, not being a Game of Thrones devotee, I did not do any of that.
Oh, that was a great show. You didn't see that?
Yeah, I know. I've heard. I mean, people I like, whose taste I trust, say it was a really great show.
Yeah.
And I just never got into it, but it was everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
because
people
that's where it was shot, and so all the say, oh.
And it's a beautiful place because it's true quaintness, not this twee cultivated manufactured quaintness. with the same tchotchke shops and the same
Yeah, but
man-made.
let's get back to you fainting in Croatia. Boy.
Oh, so
I was on vacation of Croatia, and I happened
Yes.
to pass out there.
Well, no, something happened, and they in Croatia they do have slippery tiles. I mean, beautiful tile everywhere. Churches, with
Beautiful slippery tiles. Yeah.
slippery
Okay.
tile, like just waiting for me. And we'd had a great day. I always remember places and what I bought, and I got that really cool linen shirt. And so we're going back to the ship, and I took a fall, and it's like when I fall, it's like someone picks me up, like I've described it before,
lift
as
you
by
up.
the neck, and slams me down.
Oh, really?
And I was one big bruise on this side of my face, my
Oh,
cheek.
boy. And
Took it
it
off.
must have hurt, too.
It hurt like crazy, but only when I was lying there.
Yeah.
And I felt for a second like I was going to pass out, but then it passed, and I felt that my teeth were there, and I felt that my cheekbone was intact.
Yeah.
So it's like on your knee. It helps.
Oh, really?
Arnica.
What's arnica?
Yeah.
Arnica.
Arnica. Well, I used to read. My sister got me.
See, she comes up with stuff I never heard of in my life. Okay.
Well, I had a subscription to Esquire, which I still love.
If somebody said arnica to me, I'd say, "Where is that?"
Yeah, exactly. Is that in Croatia? No, it was recommended by a doctor. He had a column in Esquire,
Mhm.
and they said, "What is in your 7 items in your medicine chest?" And he named several things. Peroxide, I think, was one, and he said arnica. So I was like, well, if it's good enough for the Esquire MD, it's good enough for me. So I started keeping it on hand. And if you have a joint pain,
Mhm.
it will help it.
Mhm.
If you have bruising and swelling, it will immediately help.
Well, maybe I better. Yeah, but I guess I got to order that. What's it called again?
Arnica, ARNI.
Arnica.
Arnica, ARN.
Oh, wait a minute, folks. You may have missed the picture there because I switched to something here. But anyway, wait a minute. Hold on a
You're
second.
crafted.
Arnica. How's it spelled?
ARN.
Wait a minute.
I
Hold on a second. ARN. Let me look this up here. ARN.
ICA.
ICA. Arnica.
Yeah, and
Yep.
it-
Let's see. Arnica at Amazon.
yeah, you can get it for like $7 or $7.50. You can get it at CVS too, but I've noticed it's not as good as the older Arnica brands, which are more potent and more like a gel. And I just started slathering it on. We travel with it on this side of my face, and the bruise went away. I mean, pictures with cover stick, you could.
Well,
couldn't even
here
tell.
it is in tablet form. We don't want that, huh?
I don't think you want that. No, it's best as a.
Arnica. Oh, Arnica, a bestseller. Yes, it's $8. I can get it
Yeah.
tomorrow. Okay, let me order it here. Let me see here. I'm gonna order it now. Buy now. And it's
on your doorstep.
Well, it's either that or somebody else's doorstep because Amazon's not the greatest delivery system.
Oh, really? Now we have Prime, which I think is one of the best bargains known to man.
Well, we have
Not-
it, but
Yeah.
but they have people who have really they're paying the lowest amount of money possible to
Yeah, they
deliver.
contract-
Is Amazon delivering now? Amazon itself delivering to your house,
Oh, I don't
or
know.
does it come UPS or FedEx or something like that?
Amazon does come to our house, not all the time.
Because we
But
have
they-
these guys in our neighborhood, they're lugging around these big things with all the packages in them, and they go to each individual house and deliver them. But with me, here's what they do. They don't deliver directly to my door. They do sometimes. When it's a small, insignificant package, like Arnica will wind up at my front door.
Yeah.
Okay. But if it's a huge thing that says "Do not bend," for
yeah.
picking it up, that stays downstairs in the lobby, and I have to bring it up.
Yeah, that's that could be a
And by
or
the way,
porch fire.
I don't know about you, but I found that Amazon sucks now. Just
Do they?
If you try
I
to
used
get
to be-
any, Marjorie spent a month trying to get money back on something.
You're kidding.
Yes.
Now, I prefer eBay over Amazon, but some
Well,
things you have
eBay's different. eBay's just individual sellers who are
right.
selling to you.
Yeah, but eBay manages them quite well. Like I had trouble with some Pike's Place decaf Starbucks coffee pods, and they remedied it right away. It was somebody in Hong Kong. Oh man, I've never heard so many excuses. First there was a fire at his warehouse, then there was something else, and then there was something else, and then it was like supposed to be delivered by a certain date, and it never came. So eBay got right on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amazon does subcontract quite a bit. Not that Jeff Bezos needs another 202
Well, I
billion.
mean, it's just I just find that when I try to get something back, it's terrible. And by the way, how did I hurt this leg? I was going to Whole Foods to return an Amazon package so they wouldn't charge me for it.
Have you noticed though how Whole Foods prices? It did earn that.
It just hit me. I went to Whole Foods to go give them the package, and this was after I fell. I walked on this leg. We walked there because that's what we were going to do.
Yeah.
It. And we did it. It takes seconds, but it just hit me. Shouldn't they be giving me the arnica for free?
I would think, in the honor of good faith and customer
and the fact
service,
that I almost broke my knee,
getting that package back.
Yeah.
I know.
But
Well,
like I will sit here for the hour that we're going to be doing this, and when I get up, I'm in pain.
Really, Ben? Now,
Until I walk a little bit and get it worked out,
yeah. Isn't it ironic that walking can make it feel better? Because what is it, sciatica? I think sciatica.
Yeah. Here we are, folks. This is old folks stuff. You ready? You have sciatica?
I do. I think.
See?
I have my cousin is a chiropractor in Louisiana.
What we should do? We should do an episode of the show called "What's Wrong with You."
Yeah. What's your ailments? We used to have the wheel of ailments, but well, have you noticed? Speaking of health and health topics, Ozempic is being touted as this like panacea for everything that could ever ail you, but it did make me think of something that your friend Al Goldstein said one time, because he struggled with his weight for some of his life, and he said, "Food talks to me," and I thought about that a lot, and it was like it calls to him, and that's what users of Ozempic say, that it turns down the volume on food.
Really, I never had food. Food has never talked to me.
That's really, it's not. You're a nonverbal food eater, right? Yeah, but I understood what he meant, because sometimes it's so primary in your consciousness, they might as well be screaming at you, that devil's food cake. But they're also saying it works with cutting alcohol cravings.
Oh, really?
But you know what?
Really?
You know what else it's known to do?
It's also people lose weight on it. The problem is that there are people who genuinely need Ozempic, okay, because they've got diabetes, I believe, is what it treats.
Yeah.
And they can't get it because all these assholes who are using it for weight loss are eating them up. Yeah. But
it also, you know what it causes? Facial aging. It's in a study. It
stops facial aging.
No, it doesn't stop it. It promotes it. But
it promotes it. Oh, I see. Okay.
But when you think about it, Ben, I mean, say a person weighs 300 pounds and they weigh 300 pounds for much of their life, and they suddenly take Ozempic and lose 150 pounds. Well, that's going to show.
Well, I don't know if they're going to lose 150 pounds on Ozempic, but
Well, I don't know either how much that they would lose.
Yeah, well, I lost a lot of weight way back when, about a couple of years ago. But then I had the prostate operation, and I had some pills I had to take, and one thing and another, and it put about 30 pounds back on me.
You never were heavy when I've known you.
I had lost about I've always had a little pot, but I lost about 60 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I was looking gaunt, actually.
Yeah.
I put back the weight, about 30 pounds of the weight, because of drugs that I've been having to take and because of the prostate operation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but if it cuts down on alcohol cravings, that would be, I, it seems to be like, quote, a panacea, but for so many problems, so many ills of the world. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And there's a good book on things like, that have been released into the public before, thalidomide. There's a new book out on thalidomide I'm going to read.
I remember that. They used to have retarded children or something.
Yeah,
kids with 5 arms coming out of their forehead.
Yeah, it was given to pregnant women, wasn't it, to prevent rubella, the German measles,
Yeah.
I think. But they didn't bank on these side effects.
Yeah, the side effects are terrible.
Oh yeah.
On that note, we've spent our time here.
Well, we have.
And we haven't talked about anything.
Anything. Well, it worked for some else.
It worked for us. Anyway, I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Laurie Thompson. Bye, Laurie.
Bye.
Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And here we are. How are you? How are you, everybody? Oh, boy. Oh, my leg is just killing me, my knee. I finally decided what it is. I think I tore a meniscus. You tore a what? I tore a meniscus when I tripped the other day. So, anyway. And we have some people coming over on Monday. We're going to go to a restaurant here in the neighborhood, but I think we're going to have to order out because I don't know if I can walk. Or is that what the Chinese person said? I don't know if I can walk. Get it? Okay. Anyway, listen, we got people here. We got people here. I started off. First of all, had trouble getting the show going tonight, and then once I got it going, I suddenly realized I was playing the wrong interview because it was the interview I ran last night, and I don't want anybody writing me going, you ran that last night. Because I got these people who sit out there and complain about everything I do wrong. Hey, I'm old, leave me alone, don't touch me. Anyway, let's bring in at least the 2 people that are waiting right now, and they're 2 really, these are quality people here. These are quality. That's Kevin there. And coming up next should be Brian Neary. There he is. How you doing, Brian?
Doing great, Alex. How are you?
Okay. I'm well, I got this damn meniscus thing, and it's I think when I analyzed it myself, because based on that leg and that leg,
no, you weren't on the web again.
No, wait a minute. That leg previously had a torn meniscus. Okay. So what I figure I did is I probably tore it again by trashing the knee, because it feels just like the torn meniscus felt.
Somebody said that last night on the show.
Yes, you said it.
I know.
Yeah, but
I'm not a doctor. It was just a guess.
Well, that was one of the possible choices, and we don't know for sure that's it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So
I sent you an X-ray machine.
What?
No,
I on Amazon. From Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon. Yeah,
No, it's
it'll
from
be
Costco.
there Friday.
It's a Kirkland X-ray machine. It's from Costco.
You got 2 of them.
To get 2 of them taped together. No, anyway, so I decided that so I went and I ordered I read you don't use ibuprofen, okay? That's where you were wrong about it, okay? They say ibuprofen doesn't work, and believe it or not, shots do not work. The only thing that works is ice, and so
like vodka shots, tequila shots, that would work. Tequila shots would work.
Oh, tequila shots.
Tequila shot.
You won't feel a thing after that.
2 sleeping pills and 2 shots of tequila. Everything will be fine.
Tequila shots might do it. Okay, I agree with you. But
Works with everything. Ask the Indians.
Yeah, but so I ordered this thing that's an ice wrap. That's a wrap of ice on there, and I'll try that for a while and see if that helps it. But I've got Mandy coming on Monday. Brian.
Oh.
That'll help.
Mandy, you know who Mandy is?
Sounds familiar.
Mandy
No,
and
she farts.
Don Giller is also going to be joining us, I hope. And I was going to take him out for lunch, but I think we're going to have to call in for lunch because I don't think I can even walk a block right now, you know. So I've had this meniscus problem before and did a little therapy, but more than that, it just after a while and icing it went away, you know.
How long did it take last time?
About 3 years.
Oh, that's good. Well, at least we got you around.
I
for a
don't
while.
remember. You know, I don't remember. It was like quite a while back. But man, I do remember. How I got it is I was sitting on the floor and I somehow turned my leg a little wrong. That's all it took. And boom, there went the meniscus. So I went to a doctor and he did an X-ray and he said, "Yeah, you tore your meniscus." I said, "What do you do about it?" He said, "Here, I'll send you off to, you know, physical therapy." And he sent me to some guy who rubbed my leg a couple of times a week, you know.
Ooh.
Well, I don't want to have to go through that again. I don't want to have to go to Midtown to get it done, you know. So
Maybe
anyway.
a girl rubbing your leg would be better.
When I tore my meniscus, I stepped out of the shower, heard a loud pop, and excruciating pain.
Yeah. And so what did they
I
do?
went to the doctor, and the first thing they gave me was a shot, and the second thing they gave me was Norco.
Norco. Oh, a pain pill.
Norco. Yeah, pain
Well,
pill.
maybe I will.
Narcotic.
I think I'm going to just you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Just to make sure that's what it is. I'm going to go down to this doctor or these doctors. It's a sports clinic that I went to before, and if they say that's what it is, I'll have them send me to something. You know, have them give me something. If they give me some drugs, that's fine with me. You know.
Yeah, I was standing. I opened the door to the garage, and I just slightly moved, and like my hip, I thought I popped my bone out of my hip or something. And I was like limping around, going, "What the hell just happened?" And oh my God, I'm starting to get old.
And was that a meniscus too?
No. But I walked around and I worked it out. But you know, I always laugh because people say I wasn't doing anything, and I pulled this or I pulled that, and yeah, it's happening to me now.
Well, I'm kind of banned from sports medicine, mainly because I never participated in sports on any level. And I kept saying to myself, what in the world did I do getting a sports injury? You know, I guess it was the Emmy I got.
Oh.
You know,
I saw a sports specialist, orthopedic specialist that also was board certified in sports medicine. And I said, "Is this because I'm overweight?" And he says, "No, 90% of the people that get this are athletes from kicking a ball and stuff." And I went, "Okay." He says it'll take 3 to 6 months to heal.
Yeah, but I mean, it was. But you got over the pain pretty easily soon.
In a couple of weeks, yeah. You use a cane. That round handle cane that you had last night, I find are really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Flat handle with a sponge is a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting that. I'm thinking of getting a walker. I think
I
get a walker, and I want to go to Costco now and get one of those. Use the what do you call it? Those little carts, electric wheelchair thingies.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I want to get one of those because everybody who rides them at Costco is really mean. You know.
No,
get
you know what?
Get out of my way. What?
Lately, I've noticed a lot of mean people at Costco.
Yeah.
And I hear people say it all the time, but man, some people have been like
and they're all in those carts, right?
Well, those people too, but yeah, just normal people around with their
people
carts.
People in general have just gotten mean.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, really mean.
In Costco last week, and I was wearing a mask, and the guy said, "By the way, you don't need to wear a mask anymore." And I said, "Funny, you don't look like my doctor."
And what did he say?
He said, "I'm not your doctor," and he walked away. So
should have just copped on them.
I should have.
Hey, if you want to wear a mask, you know, that's your right, and that's nobody should ever put you down for that.
That's the way I look at it. They'll be back again in a few more weeks.
Yeah, once. Well, no. Do you know what we're going to do the next time we get COVID? They're not going to admit it. They're just not going to admit that it's a problem.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah. So listen, I didn't check the news. Is our president been jailized or whatever they did to him?
I listened
Beautiful mugshot.
Oh, really?
CNN radio on the way home, and they are saying like he just turned down Jefferson Street, and he's going down there.
Oh,
You know, like every single turn, every single thing.
Yeah.
Give the
Helicopter shots, everything.
They were trying to give the sniper directions.
It's like they sit there and they complain about how he's doing this for media attention, and the media is giving him all the attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
You stupid idiots, just turn off. Don't turn on the camera.
I heard the picture of his mugshot was a donkey's ass.
See, mugshot.
He
Mugshot.
just looks pissed off as hell, and that's what he wanted.
Yep.
Oh God. That's one of his typical pictures, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here is the mugshot. Yeah.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Mugshot.
Here's the mugshot, first ever. He looks pissed off.
He is, and that's what he wanted. So now he can use that in his campaign.
Yeah. That's like I don't know. I mean, what's he trying for that look for? Stern. I'm mad about this. I don't like what's happening to me. I mean,
It's like he's taking a crap. He needs some Colace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to pinch a porcupine.
Yeah.
That was one of the memes going around.
Oh,
that was him bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The orange suit.
That'll be his jail picture.
Well, no, that's his campaign picture.
Yeah.
That's his fundraising picture.
Yeah.
In an orange jumpsuit for a jail jumpsuit. Very cool.
Send me money.
Yeah. Plus, he had to fork out 200G, right?
Nothing.
Okay, no. His bail bonds company, the bail bonds company, forked that out for him. Because he's a billionaire, he doesn't want to touch any of his money.
Yeah.
So that's what they said. They said, how can a billionaire go and hire a bail bonds company for $20,000? You just take your the 10%, $20,000, right, and then you get it back, right? If you have the money, you give that to him, you get it back. Instead, he hired a bail bonds company to do that. Now he's got to pay the bail bonds company to do that for him.
Well, wait a minute. I don't get what you're saying. I know what bail bondsmen do. I know that they pay off about 10.
But you don't need. But if you're rich, you don't need to go to a bail bonds company.
No, you just pay the $200,000.
If I'm in trouble with $200,000 and I need $20,000, I go to the bail bonds.
You're absolutely right.
Then they. But if I'm a millionaire, I just go into my account down the street and get $20,000 and give it to them.
Or
right?
$200,000, and you give it to them, and then if you show up, you're getting your money back.
Absolutely.
It's not like that's money you're never going to see again.
Exactly.
A lot of the bail bondsman people take a piece of property.
Wait a minute. So he did a bail bondsman?
A bail bonds company, yes.
I mean, I think even Giuliani, didn't use a bail bondsman, did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
He did.
Well, he's broke. And it would be awfully nice if Trump would pay his legal fees. I mean, and all these guys' legal fees, because he's the one that got them into trouble. And the reason they're in trouble is because they were doing right by him, or what they thought was doing right by him.
Yeah. What about the guy moving all the stuff around? The guy who moved all the boxes for him?
Yeah.
That guy's going in there too, and is he going to pay his lawyer's fees? I bet he won't.
No.
What
Probably
a
not.
cheap asshole. I mean,
He's
really.
He's lived his whole life that way, though, being a cheap asshole.
I mean, come on. I mean, I know that if I did something, I was working for a company, and I did something for the company, and for some reason I got arrested for doing the work of the company would take care of my legal fees. That's what companies do when they're decent, Boy, I would not want to be his lawyer. I would not want to be his friend. I mean,
The lawyer that he got in Georgia is a white-collar crime specialist.
Well, he's a high-profile lawyer, right? He had
he had a couple of rock people.
Usher, and all Oh, yeah.
He'll probably go broke on Trump.
I would say he maybe will drop Trump as soon as he doesn't get paid. You know, I mean, come on. I mean, doesn't it go to? Doesn't it seem to be the lot in life of people who have anything to do with him that they, they're not going to. Oh, here I got to turn this on. That's what I got to do. There we go. There we go. I just got a better picture there. See, I don't do anything right anymore.
And it sounds like he got the guy just now, right? They said he came off the plane and talked to him like he just switched lawyers and just got that guy.
Fired the other guy today too.
Yeah, and this guy came up with some immediate thing about, oh, this is not right, this is not proper, we're gonna the same usual crap. And the thing is,
lawyers say
they can't make any of it stick. Of course, if Phil still called this program, shall I be Phil for a moment?
Yeah.
Would that help?
Yeah, sure. Trump hasn't done anything wrong. He's just accused. He hasn't been convicted yet.
There we go. Yeah.
That's what Phil would say.
Well, I agree that a man is innocent until proven guilty. However, I don't think he ever gave people that benefit of the doubt.
Nope.
And he's really a lowlife. Really a lowlife. You have friends. You take care of your friends.
Absolutely.
You do right by them, and try and get them so that they, you just do right by them. And in this case, these people were working in your service, doing a job for you, and they got caught in this web. Okay. I mean, maybe some of them didn't even know they were doing anything illegal. I think some of those people that are being charged are fake electors. Am I right or wrong about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not even in the, they have nothing to do with Trump. But Trump should take care of all of them. I mean, isn't the money coming out of his campaign funds, his super PAC anyway?
Yeah.
So why shouldn't he? But poor Giuliani, he had to go out and get get himself some cheap lawyer, right?
Yeah.
So it's all too bizarre. But did they have pictures of him? Well, they didn't have any pictures of him being arraigned, I guess.
No, they took him through an area that they usually use when they arrest somebody and bring him like in the back side door.
When when he goes before the judge, weren't there reporters in there or photographers? Because this is a court where you can, they will video the proceedings.
It was the jail. It wasn't the court. It was the jail.
Oh, it was the jail they did it in.
Yeah. So they were saying on CNN that he had the option to go to the courthouse, but instead they went to the jail. And they're saying like this is the worst jail. It's just deteriorated and the walls and everything's crumbling and all this stuff. So
perfect for him to spend his rest of his life.
Yeah. But they gave him a motorcade. So they had 18 motorcycles for him,
Oh, jeez.
blocking off traffic ahead, and then the other group bringing him through, through the streets. So they said they keep saying, "Oh, we're going to treat him like a normal civilian." That's
Yeah.
Well,
And then they
civilians don't have Secret Service protection.
well,
yeah,
no,
they took like 15 minutes to book them, and they said usually it takes about 2 or 3 hours to book people in that.
well, you did notice what he did. He made sure he was going to get booked. When? During prime time.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. See, yeah, they also said that too. They said he could have come at 3 a.m. if he wanted to avoid everything.
Well, they should have said when he showed up at what was it, 7 o'clock at night, 7:30, something like that. They should have said we're closed.
Yeah.
I don't think he's seen the judge yet. I think his lawyer negotiated the bond and everything, and for the time to turn himself in, and he did so.
Mm-hmm.
During arraignment, he'll see the judge.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what I have sitting out of my front door here in my office? Probably, if I were to open it up,
The cat.
the cat would be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already the cat. You know what's amazing about this cat? This cat stayed with us 4 years ago, maybe. And I figured, hey, you know, I know cats are smart, and I know they have long-term memory, but that's a long time ago.
Your cat came
Yeah,
back.
she hid
after
for
4
about
years?
5 minutes. Hid for about 5 minutes, and when she saw it was me, she came out, and she'd been following me all over the house now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like she knows who I am. She knows to stand in front of this. I open up the door to the bathroom when I just used it. There's the cat waiting for me. In fact, let me see. Hold on. Oh, it's just going to kill me to get up, though. Hold on a second. I just want to see if the cat's out in front of here. Ooh, ow.
I didn't feel anything.
Okay. Let me see.
I sent him a cane that's adjustable, you know, because that cane he had yesterday is
She's over
and
there.
a flat
She was
handle.
waiting.
Send him a hurricane.
She was over there.
Yeah.
She was waiting, not right
That's a
outside the
good
door,
quality.
but
It's
down a little bit
adjustable
down
and-
the hall. So, anyway, my knee. I swear to you, I feel like an old person. Oh, wait a minute, I am. I forgot.
So I sent you a cane.
But you are right about the ice. It makes it feel a lot better. But you
I
know.
sent you a cane. You'll get it tomorrow.
No. You didn't have to send me a cane.
Yeah, it's adjustable, and then you lock it in place.
Uh-huh.
And the handle doesn't sit round. It's a lot better. You need to take the
And what
the
it
weight
does, because
off
it's
of
for
that.
old people, it makes fart sounds.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
makes fart
that would
sounds.
be cute.
By the
That
way,
would-
there was one that I saw. I was looking at canes, right? And there was one that I saw that had a flashlight on it.
Yeah,
You got one with seats on them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait a minute, a cane with a seat on it?
Yeah, it flops right down.
Oh,
can
you
sit.
mean when you're not using it as a cane, you sit
Yeah, the little
down.
thing flops down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you can just get a pogo stick and ride that instead.
I don't know. But every time I stand up after sitting down, oh, this is just painful. But
You
then
need to keep the
if I
weight
walk
off
a little
that
bit, I'm
cane.
okay. But the cat was out there, just right down a little bit from the door, and just looking at me, you know, like, hey, I'm the cat. You're supposed to come out and take care of me, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's what they
Cat's
do.
been gone for 4 years, and all of a sudden it shows back up.
Marjorie had all this cat stuff. Cat box, cat bowls, cat this, cat that. You know why? Because she wanted to get a cat. So she bought all the stuff for a cat before we even decided we'd get a cat or not get a cat.
Okay.
And the only problem I have with getting a cat is, number one, at my age, that cat's going to be an orphan at some point. You know, if he lives to be 15 years old, I'll probably be gone by then. Either that, or I've got an animal who's looking at me for the next 15 years going, you know, after you're gone, I'm still going to be here, you know. And also, I wanted to get 2 of them because you need 2 cats, because you need them to keep each other company in case you go out, do things, you know. And then, what happens when we go on vacation? We don't know anybody that'll take care of them. So, you know, I don't know. But she wanted to get a cat, so she bought all this cat stuff, planning on getting a cat. So, but it's good for Berta, this cat here. So, it was an adorable cat, by the way. Lovely cat. Still has the same personality she had when we had her here, you know, 4 years ago.
I can't believe the cat disappeared 4 years ago and came back.
No, I went to her owners.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really, the cat, I love this cat. I've always loved her. She has but she's very needy, you know. She's one of these cats that when you're walking around the house, she then flops down right in front of you and tries to trip you.
Oh.
Well, I don't need that right now. Okay.
No.
So I'm being very careful with the cat.
This cane is aluminum. You can knock the cat out of the way
Yeah,
with it.
yeah. If I could, I would let the cat in right now. But you know where the cat would go immediately?
Right to
All
your desk.
behind the monitors,
Oh, yep.
right? And
Warm.
get stuck in all the wires and stuff like that. And I'm gonna go, get the hell out of there. You know, if she just go down here and just sit and be nice,
But no, as you get down here and go through the wires and see if she could squeeze through certain places, you know, they always like to see that. And she would definitely go under the desk because what cats love is cover. You know, anything that's covering them. So, anyway, so we have a cat.
And where it's warm.
We have a cat visiting us.
I just got my cat history. I've never owned a cat.
Have you just got a cat?
No, I've never owned a cat.
You've never owned a cat. I love cats.
No.
I just
Cats own you. You own dogs.
You like cats, don't you, Brian? You have.
Yeah, I had a cat when I was younger, when I was single, and had the cat, and then we just got a cat like a year ago. Almost, yeah, exactly a year ago.
He says, I can't believe you're not putting the kitty on camera. Ratings winner. Sit the cat in a director's chair next to you. Yeah, you got to be able to, you got to assume that the cat is going to sit wherever I put the cat. Okay? No.
Nope.
But they will. Do you ever notice people when they're on like TV, like, and doing their thing from home, you know, through Zoom, they're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden this tail goes by? Cats will always find a way to be on camera. She's kind of like Adrian. Oh, there he goes. Where's he going?
The cat or Adrian?
Is he looking for the cat? I bet he's looking for the cat.
Okay.
Anyway, nobody else is calling us tonight, huh? This is a great group, though. This is a nice bunch of people. What's new with you, Kevin? Anything that you're doing that is fun and enjoyable?
Just getting ready to get my daughter off to school. It's not been fun.
Oh, is this the empty nest moment?
It's coming.
This is the last daughter to go off to college, right?
12 days.
12 days. Okay.
And counting.
Now, let me just ask you. You don't have to tell me if I'm being rude here. How much is college costing you?
Well, it's probably around 60 grand a year.
Oh, wonderful.
That's another car.
Tell me about it. I'm hiding all my money.
But I mean, 60 grand. Now,
but she's got some scholarships and things like that.
Well, that chops into the 60 grand, or
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and if we end up moving to Oregon like we want to, it will knock off another 20 residency, things like that. So if we move up there,
I got a condo.
You planned on returning. You do?
Yeah, I have a
don't say that.
I have a rental in Oregon. Not that I want to rent it to you, but you could use that address and say that you moved.
Yeah, don't tempt me because I got all kinds of ideas. But
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It's in reality, I think it comes in the 40 to 50 range, somewhere around there. By the time you're done.
Is that books and everything, or you still have the paper book?
Oh no. No, you got books and food and all that.
Well,
yeah, it's somewhere around there with. I think you got a few more for books, but most of it's included with the dorm and all that stuff. I mean, it goes down as you go because the freshman year you have to stay there and the whole bit.
Well, it kind of bothers me though that the people have to put out that much money to send their kid to college. I mean, it should be.
It's rough.
It should be just like any other school. The state should take care of it.
Yep.
The other thing is there's some question now as to whether a college education is needed. Now, it's needed for some things, but not everything,
No, it's not. I mean, a certain level of college is needed nowadays just to take out the damn garbage, but at least I would say, well, 7-8 years ago when I was trying to find a job after I got laid off, certainly needed some kind of degree. I don't have a degree. I never went to college.
I never had a degree either.
I had 40 years of experience and it was still a pain. I got, accepted applications and got interviews and had 30 some odd years of experience in driving and transportation and logistics, and I had a stack of references this thick, whole bit. But my age was working against me. I know that. My disability was working against me as well. But you're still going up against wage issues, and you can get people to work cheaper than I would have to work for. I was making a good wage after however many years, 40 years of working. And, I finally built myself up to a good wage, and people didn't want to pay that because they could pay somebody at 30 years or 35 years old that they could get a lot cheaper doing the same thing. And that's, that's the reality of it, no matter what you say.
Yeah, but getting back to the thing about college education, some people say it's a fallacy that really you need it for most things you're going to do in life.
Probably. I mean, the job that I had probably, but it didn't.
Also, wouldn't it be nice if your daughter, she wants to go to college, bless her, wants to go to college, but then she's being asked, what are you studying for?
Yeah.
And, how old's your daughter, 18?
Yeah.
Is it any time is that the time in her life to be able to have to decide what she's going to do with the rest of it?
Yeah, it's hard because of a lot of friends are struggling with that right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. So why not just allow her to go to college, get an education, learn stuff, okay? Become a full, well-rounded person, but not have to sit there and say, oh, I think I'm going to become an archaeologist.
Well, and that's what I've told her. She's decided what she wants to do, what she hopes she wants to do. And I said, if you change your mind somewhere along the line, that's fine. Get your general education stuff done. And if you got what you think you want going, you can still study that part of it, but get the main stuff done. And in 2 years, you'll know more or less where you want to go. And those last 2 years, you can key in on that. And if it's changed, then you can key in the other way, I
mean, in my business, I don't know why. I went to school for a very short time for broadcasting, and they didn't teach me anything that would help me be a broadcaster. They were teaching us, at that time, they were still teaching you how to do radio plays.
Yeah.
And finally one day I said, look, I'm already working at a radio station. I'm already on my way towards a career. I don't need this, and I'm taking up a seat somebody else could use.
Life experience was much easier then, and people accepted life experience.
Listen, life experience should be important today.
It's the best.
When it comes to broadcasting, because the first thing I'd ask if I were hiring an announcer or something like that, well, let's hear you. Are you any good?
Yeah.
I wouldn't ask, where do you have a college degree? I want to know if you're any good. Send me an audition tape. Let me hear you.
Well, that's the same thing with, like going to school for a trade. I mean, that's good. That's good to have as well. If you're going to go into welding or something like that, it's good to learn that and then be able to walk into the workforce with that kind of a background.
But it also should be trade schools. I know people always get mad at me when I say this. If you're going to be a doctor, you should go to a trade school.
I don't disagree.
What more is it than,
that's kind of what we grew up on, dissecting frogs and all that stuff. That
Auto shop. I had auto shop.
Yeah, we did too.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, when you're talking about, having a degree in something, really, when it comes to broadcasting, I would never say, do you have a degree when somebody walked in the door?
Nowadays, a degree just gets you $25,000 more in your paycheck. It's really all it does.
Well, that's stupid too.
It is stupid.
Of course it is.
It is. It's ridiculous. But if you want to make money, that's what it does.
Because
really.
Let's say you've got a guy who
has reality.
Well, let's say you've got a guy who doesn't have a college degree. Okay.
Well, and that's some of the issues I ran into in my career.
Is he going to make $25,000 less, even though he's going to work just as much as the guy is making $25,000 more?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the issues I ran into in my career.
That's
because
ridiculous.
I knew my people that I knew that were doing the same job I was doing, and they were making $20,000 more a year. And I knew that they had degrees and I did not.
Yeah, God.
And we were doing the exact same job, and maybe I was doing more because I was in a busier distribution.
And knowing you,
center
you're
and stuff
probably
like
more competent than most people.
Well, that's the thing, is I was in a busier distribution center doing more stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Internationally.
once I got my bachelor's degree, I got extra money as a police officer.
Right.
You know, because you have a college degree.
You got a piece of paper.
Do you know?
That's right. Did my microbiology degree, my 4-year degree, help me in law enforcement? Not much.
Yeah, what's it got to do with it? But you got a piece of paper.
My wife,
Well, I was going to go be a doctor, but I thought being a cop was
my
better.
wife Marjorie has a teaching degree, and she has a master's. You have to have a master's in order to teach high school.
Yep.
You know, you can go for a certain couple of years without having a master's degree, but you have to be studying for it in order to be a teacher. So she was a teacher, you know, and she has a master's degree, and here I am with my thumb up my ass.
You know, in California, you need a master's degree to be a teacher too.
Oh yeah, no, she paid off her degree by teaching school for 2 years. All she had to do was teach for 2 years or something like that, and the whole degree was paid for.
Would she have her job at the bank if she didn't have a degree?
She wasn't at a bank.
Marjorie?
No.
Oh, I thought you said she works at a bank.
No, she worked for Citic Capital, which, among other things, has a bank.
Oh! I
But
missed
they
that.
also have. They're also a investment corporation and things like that. So yes, Charlene. Hello, Charlene. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted. What did Marjorie teach?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know what subject?
I
Okay.
forget now. I think maybe art. I don't know. I know she got a degree in art as well.
Oh.
You know, which means she can draw a straight line. You know.
But you get people like like Stephanie, my 15-year-old. She's only a sophomore, and she knows she wants to do art. She knows she wants to go to an art school. So
Yeah. Well, you see,
There's a big one in San Francisco.
yeah,
Yeah.
with the car on the side of the building.
yeah, but I mean, obviously, if a kid wants to go to college, good for them. That's fine, but they shouldn't be penalized for not going to college as long as they're, especially in my profession. Come on, what are you going to college for? To learn how to read a commercial?
So
You
the art school in San Francisco not only has a car on the side of the building, but they have a auto museum. Have either one of you, or have you been in?
They're at Car Week. They put a big exhibit on at Car Week, and they show a couple of the cars that the kids designed. Yeah,
Oh, the kids
Oh, no,
design
no, no.
cars there.
They had like, I went there one time like 10 years ago. They have 40 cars, old cars.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay.
Did you go to
Where is it?
I think in San Francisco. I think it's the San Francisco or California, whatever they call their art school.
Okay, so you have a bachelor's degree in what?
Yeah.
In what, Alan?
Oh, and microbiology.
Oh, really? And do you use it?
I think you use you think differently with a college degree, but I'm not in microbiology. I never worked in microbiology. I was going to go into medicine. I was going to go into emergency medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And I had good grades, and my parents had connections with Stanford University right across the bay.
Yeah.
And so I got that, and while I was working on that, I took biology, and then I became a police officer, and all that. I continued the 4-year degree on the microbiology, and I don't know, I never even worked in forensics, other than fingerprinting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dusting for fingerprints. Cops can do that. You don't need a degree.
Yeah.
So I think comparing two things, I think a medical doctor should have college. I disagree with you there, but
no. I'm not saying they shouldn't have an education. I don't want somebody hacking into me without an education. I'm saying they should go to a trade school for that.
They do. When they get out of medical school, they spend.
Well, that's a trade school. But why shouldn't they just go directly to their trade school rather than have to go through 4 years of college before they start studying to be a doctor? That makes no sense.
I think microbiology and biology are important to know before you go to the trade school. So.
Well, but no, they could teach it to you at the trade school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. all I'm saying is that we should, just change the way in which we teach those crafts. Lawyers, why not just send them directly to a trade school? What do they learn? You know?
How to be lousy politicians?
Yeah, well, what's the old joke? Two lawyers are walking down the street, and one lawyer looks at the other lawyer and says, "Look at her, I'd like to screw her." And the other lawyer says, "Out of what?"
Yeah.
That's cute. That's cute.
Nah, that's the oldest joke.
The only lawyer one I've ever heard is, you know what 20 lawyers under the sea is? A good start.
Not
Good
enough.
start.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. By the way,
I went to a vocational school in high school.
Mhm.
So I went. They had courses based around electronics, and that started sophomore, junior, senior year. My senior summer, I worked at Spencer Physics Monday through Friday. Then I had another job on the weekend, and then my senior year, I only took like 3 classes all year, and I went to I got a job at Hewlett Packard, so I worked at Hewlett Packard.
Mhm.
And then I got another electronics after that, and then I knew I wanted to be a boss. I knew I like manufacturing, so bust my ass to get to where I am. So,
wow.
but you know, I made some opportunities for myself. So I think that's hard. That's the scary thing about the kids. You know, Simon's a senior, and it's like, I think I got lucky in certain spots. So you know, it's like, man, you gotta bust your ass. And
Well, I knew when I graduated high school what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I wanted to be in show business of some sort, and I knew that because I was doing a radio show in high school at a local radio station. It was our high school radio show. That's what I wanted to do. And so when I got out of high school, I immediately went to work at KTIM in San Rafael, where I did this high school radio show and worked part-time there. And then I finally started getting one job after another at cheap-ass radio stations, one in Reno, Nevada, then another one in Klamath Falls, Oregon, and
Wow.
so on, working my way up, so to speak. That was my school, and it was the best school I could ever have,
Would you consider San Francisco like the 5th market, the 5th largest market in radio?
Yeah, what about it?
I don't know. You said that in 1991 in an interview. You think it's still the 5th largest market?
I think it still is. I think it is still number 5 or number 4. Well, hold on a second. Echo, what number market in radio? Echo, what number market in radio is San Francisco?
The phone number for a place.
Oh,
The cat reprogrammed this thing.
Oh.
Is 800
Echo, shut the fuck up.
Would you like me to send this to your phone?
Echo, stop.
Oh, did she say that?
What?
She said, "Did you be saying that to your phone?" Is that what she said?
No.
Yeah, I missed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Do you
See
kiss
what-
your mother with that mouth? That's what she should say. Yeah. No. I think I think it's still the 5th, but I may be wrong. Or maybe it's the 4th. At some point, I know it's New York, it's Los Angeles, Chicago, and I do believe it's San Francisco after that.
Jack claims that Dallas, Fort Worth is in 1st or 2nd
No,
market.
no, it's not. Not even close.
Yeah, maybe I misunderstood him or something.
Well, hold on a second. I can look it up here. I got free time if you do. Top 10 radio markets. Top 10 radio markets. Markets.
Evan, did you call me by accident today?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. New York is number
I don't know what I
one.
did.
Oh, that's fine. I thought you did.
New York is number 1, not Dallas. Number 2 is Los Angeles. Number 3 is Chicago. Number 4 is San Francisco.
Oh, well.
Okay. Number 5 is Dallas Fort Worth. Number 6 is Houston Galveston. Number 7 is Washington, D.C. Number 8, Philadelphia. Number 9, Boston. And number 10, Seattle, Tacoma.
Oh.
So, you know, that's my, so that, yeah, so that's the top 10 markets, okay? So Jack is wrong. You know.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the Dallas Fort Worth was that high on the list, but you know it is. So you know, but anyway, so I mean, I just feel sorry for parents who got to send kids off to school, and with all that it costs, and you know, I mean. The day the kid's born, you got to start thinking about saving for their education. Am I right, Brian?
Yep.
Kevin?
Yep. I'm already looking at the grandkids.
Well, you see, Brian's new to this game. You by now you've been bled dry of every penny you've had sending kids to college, right, Kevin?
For dance, yeah. And I remind her all the time. I said, "You're not going to buy another car, so you better be good. Stop crying."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure you will do anything for Adrian that you possibly could to make her a well-rounded individual and make sure that she has all the tools she needs to get along in this world.
Yeah, and I think it's. I mean, Kevin definitely knows, but it's like, you know, a couple of my friends have kids that are into music or something, and they want it, you know. So it's like, my God, sometimes I talk to my friends, say, "Geez, you know, sometimes you're just so thankful that your kids want to do something and they're into it. You don't have to push them to do something."
It's good when kids know what they want to do with their life.
Yeah,
you know, especially things like music and so on are things that people pretty much figure out they want to do in life early.
Yeah.
Okay. But there are a lot of kids out there being pressured to figure out what they're going to do for the rest of their life. They have no idea. You know?
Yeah.
They haven't lived enough life yet. And no matter what they study for, by the time they get to be 30, they'll wind up doing something else. So, you know, I mean, I think, quite frankly, I think that when a kid graduates from high school, they should be allowed, and this, I know this sounds weird, but they should be paid by the government to go on a 4-year vacation anywhere in the world they want to go.
As long as they're out of the house.
You know, and and be able to see the world and to be able to enjoy the world. And then when they hit 22, figure out what the hell they're going to do with their life.
Yep.
You know?
Well, a lot of them are taking these what they call gap years.
Really?
Yeah, they'll take a year or 2 off and then try and get back into it, but that's hard because they got to get back into it. And a lot of them don't. A lot of them will stay at home, and all of a sudden they're back downstairs and hanging out, and then they got to try and get a job, and they don't want to get a job, and it's hard to get them remotivated.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part.
Yeah. And I said this before, you know, we live across the street from a school, but we lived across the street from another middle school, and on Saturdays, you know, all these Asian kids were going to school. They had classes for all these Asian kids were going to school on a Saturday. So if you take a couple years off, trust me, there's a lot of other cultures that will not do that, and they're going to jump into all these jobs. And then when these kids get ready, okay, I've had my 2 years off, I'm ready to look for a job. They're not going to get a job because all these other kids that have been working on Saturdays and, you know, going to school on Saturdays and not taking a break. The Chinese, you're not going to let them. They're not going to take a break. The Indian, they're not going to take a break. They'll keep going.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part is the competition that's going to be out there for these kids now. That's why I feel sorry for because, like I said, I think I had some good breaks and I really pushed myself, and I got lucky a lot of times. But I just can't imagine trying to be out there.
I just think,
and then your area is really rough because you go up to Cupertino and it's even more so.
Yes.
I keep thinking that
it's brutal up there.
Ages 18 to 22, you should just be allowed to see the world because the problem is, number one, nobody knows whether you're going to live to be over 65. But, you know, when you're old, you're not as capable of traveling as you were when you were younger.
Boy, I'm sure finding that out.
Yeah. And it would be very nice if you were able to, travel when you're younger and get that out of the way. And then when you're older, if you can still do it, go ahead and do it. But, at 83, I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to travel the world, especially with this knee now.
The knee will get better. You were talking about January. By January, you should be fine.
Yeah. Well, I want it better now, man. I'm in pain. I think the pain will go away in a couple of weeks, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it'll go away in a couple of weeks. Dr. Allen said so.
Okay, well, I hope you're right, Dr. Allen.
Be monetized.
Yes, yes,
Not a
Charlene.
real doctor.
Yes,
Oh.
sure.
No, Alex, I remember, like, went to the hospital and then you were sorry, right? Because you were there for like hours, right?
What?
So you're not going to get this, because I'm worried about you now that, maybe you hurt yourself and you should have somebody look at it. But maybe you're right. You're okay. And you just
Well,
have
I
to-
mean,
And,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
the arnica will help with the bruising. I know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just know. I figure I'm going to probably go to a doctor. I'm going to go to a sports doctor about this. The same ones that I went to when it broke before. I think it's the same meniscus, to be honest with you. Feels exactly like
Oh.
the same thing. And I just trashed it when I fell the other day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's time for me to go take care of it, but I will. But I can't do it yet because Mandy's coming into town. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Man,
Wait, how did you manage that?
Hmm?
She's in Georgia, right?
Yeah, she's coming up to see her daughter, and she said, I'd like to see you guys.
Ah,
And
to
I
New York.
said, fine. She's going to sit right next to me while I'm doing the show.
and then Don Giller's going to be in bed with your wife.
You're going to be in bed with my wife, yeah.
That'd be a great couple.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in meeting Don Giller. I don't know if you people know who Don Giller is, but Don Giller, if you ever go online and you see videos of David Letterman show, about 90% of them are Don Giller put them up all these years. And he is...
Oh, really? That's they come.
Hmm?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one
I've
of the...
seen those videos.
Yeah, he's one of the funniest people. Wouldn't you agree? You hear him a lot of times, Brian, on the show.
Yeah. The thing I like about his videos is like when Pee Wee Herman passed away, you could see the progression when he first was on David Letterman's show, and then as he was talking about he was going to make a movie, and then the next time he was promoting the movie, and then the next time was after the movie was already premiered and stuff like that. So you could see, Ruben's confidence level going up with that character, and it's pretty cool to see those type of things.
Well, he's a great archivist. I mean, he's good at that. And yet the Letterman people all of a sudden decided they wanted to make money off that footage. So now he can't put up any new stuff, otherwise they'll tell him to stop. He can still have all the old stuff he did, and he works for the Letterman people now, consulting them on where to find certain footage, because he knows where everything is over the years. He's collected every single Letterman show. But he's one of the funniest people I've bumped into. I really like, and I've never met him personally, so I'm looking forward to it if in fact he does come over for lunch. So.
Oh, Alex, I thought maybe you met him at Checkfest or something, or
What?
but you didn't. He wasn't at Checkfest, no.
No, he didn't go to Sheckfest. No.
Oh.
No. Although he knew Shecky and he was, good friends with Shecky. Nah, I guess he didn't want to go because there are too many Letterman people there, and he didn't want to get involved in the politics of all of that and so on. So, But, God, how long has it been since Shecky died? God, he died what, in February?
3 months.
February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
March, April,
Wow.
May, June, July.
I'm going.
Wow, 6 months already. Yeah.
I
Wow.
think it's 6 months already. Yeah.
Time goes by quickly when you're older too.
Well, it also goes by faster when you don't. admit to yourself that it happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the old saying goes, and I said it about Shecky. You know, Rick Sheckman died, but I don't have to believe it if I don't want to. You know. So.
Yeah, the same thing that you were talking about on the other shows about when you're watching. I forget what you said you're watching, and you think you're watching with Shecky.
Riverdale. Yeah, they had their last show. They ended this. This was going to be their last season anyway, no matter what happened with the WB. So last night they ran the last episode, and I watched it with Shecky.
Yeah, I remember that story when I was watching. The boat one, the Down Under, whatever that one is.
Well, yeah, he loved that show.
Below Deck.
I watched that one. Below Deck. I have that on my DVR, recording all 3 of those different shows, and so I was watching it the other day, and when I turned that on, I remember he used to like that show. So then I thought of the story where you're saying, like,
I particularly liked Below Deck Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was a show that I was watching. Right, it was kind of like my secret program that I didn't want anybody else to know I was watching. And one day I admitted to Shecky that I was watching, and he says, "Oh, I watch that every week. I love that show."
Yeah.
He also liked Master Chef Australia. That was his other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was his other thing. But no, they ran the last episode of Riverdale this week. And I got to tell you, it's the best last episode of any series I've ever seen. It is just phenomenal. They did they had a spectacular year this year. And I don't know if any of you watched that show, but it was all the Archie and Veronica thing, but they did it differently. Okay, they did it more seriously than they would normally do it. And the last episode starts off in 1986. All the Riverdale stuff takes place in the 50s. And Betty is 86 years old, and she's dying. And she wants to go back to Riverdale. And so somehow she becomes younger and is able to say goodbye to all these people, and we find out what happened to them in later life, because obviously if she's the last one still alive, everybody died along the way. And it's not sad that they died, it's just time passes and they died. And it is just one of the best episodes I've ever seen, and the most satisfying episodes I've ever seen for a show, for a series. And it was... I was glad it was that good. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good show this year.
With these writers on strike, is that affecting like all the shows that we watched, all these new ones, like oh my God, what is it? Among Us? Not Among Us. The Last of Us and all that stuff.
Well, they won't be making a new Last of Us until the strike is over. Until the strike is over, and they can't write it, and they can't do it. You know.
Yeah.
But the strike will eventually be over, I think, in about 5 years. So it'll be okay. But anyway, hey, listen, I'm playing the theme. I have to say that because they can't hear it. Thank you so much, Kevin, for being here tonight. You're always a pleasure, as is Brian, as is our good friend Alan, and Charlene. Very nice of you to join in this evening. This is a very light night on Thursdays. I don't know why, and so thank you for helping us out. Okay, everybody, why don't you kind of give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night,
there
now.
they go. Yeah, that's our citizen panel for tonight. Let me see. Oh, there they go. They're disappearing. So I better get in here. Okay, Jack Bishop is next. He comes here right now over most of this same GabNet. He'll be doing a citizen panel, and the number you call for that citizen panel is you go on to Skype, and it's GabNet Live. GabNet Live. I'll see you again. Let's see here. We're back on again tomorrow night, 10:30. I'm trying to stall here because I got some time left. Oh well, let Jack go on early. That's it for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her,
Tell her I love her, okay? Good night, everybody.